Yo, 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 yo. Yes, yes, people. Right. 1212. We're live right now, currently on YouTube. Um, I'm doing an FL Studio stream, and I've just been trying to rig my audio up so I could do this stream. And I have actually somewhat just noticed something that's going to be a little bit of a problem for the live. It's not going to be too much of a problem, but it is a little bit. Now, every time I play you guys a bit of audio, I'm going to have to turn the mic off. So like if I'm gonna play you a bit of audio, there's gonna be a little bit of a delay while I turn the mic off before I actually like press play on the audio. Now, it's not too much of an issue. We'll probably get through it. But like I say, it's just gonna be a little bit awkward if I'm working on like certain sections. I'm probably gonna have to go quiet so I can hear the audio, and you probably won't like hear me talk and stuff. But I'll try and explain stuff in as best ways as I can. So let's start things off, shall we? And let's start things off. So to cut the story short, let me just get the stream up on my mobile, just so I can see the chat room and stuff. Because I need to be able to see the chat. If any of you guys comment, because I'm going to be on the FL screen, you see, so I'm not actually going to see if anybody comments unless I look at the comments through my phone and stuff. So, all right, yeah. So basically, if we fast forward to last year, we went into our first lockdown. COVID was starting to get quite serious, and it was at the point where they were saying, stay home, save lives, protect the NHS, all the rest of it. If you know me quite well, you'll know my views and opinions on the COVID. You'll know what I think about it, and my sort of like views on my opinions with the COVID, etc. But to cut the story short, we'd obviously gone into the lockdown, so we was at home a little bit more, and I started using FL Studio, started getting into some production. I knew I was going to be at home for a long time, and I wouldn't be able to go out and things like that. And I started grafting. I'd already previously like used FL before, but only like briefly, and made some tracks with some friends and stuff that wasn't really too good. But anyway, so I thought I'd start learning the program myself. And about a year ago, just a little bit later on, a little bit more than a year ago, I made a track. I made a hardcore remix with a friend of mine who is actually no longer a friend of mine. And I won't go into detail as to too much why we're no longer friends, etc. But all I'm sort of like literally gonna say is like literally the what do you call it? So I made a track with him. Yeah, so I made a tune with him, and to cut the story short, like I say, we fell out, and I always sort of liked the tune that we did, but it doesn't feel right playing it because his name's like half on the track, and it was a little bit annoying. Now, to tell you the honest and truthful story, like he didn't actually really physically write the track. It was me that wrote the original tune. I just sort of like sent him previews, and he put his input and feedback in from his end of the phone. As we was in lockdown and stuff, and to be fair, he's never really produced in his life. And although I'm not the best producer, I'm not talking from like years of experience or anything. However, it just doesn't feel right playing the track. But I've always kind of liked the concept of the track. Now, I've actually remixed two tracks. Sorry, no, three tracks. I've actually remixed three tracks into one track, and I always loved the concept of it. However, my production level has obviously improved since we went into that lockdown last year, and I do actually know a little bit more now than I actually did say this time a year ago. I can't remember exactly when we wrote the track, but I knew it was during this first lockdown, and I know that I was doing some bits and bobs. I know it maybe won't exactly be a year ago. I know it was on this computer that I've got at the moment, so I know like roughly what I know roughly it's coming up to nearly being a year, if that makes sense. And like I say, I've always liked this track, so what I decided to do was I decided to sort of like do a remix of the track. So I've opened up the old project file, and just over the last couple of days I've been having a little bit of a play about, and I've been doing a few little revamps and remixes, if that strictly makes sense. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna try something. Now I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not. It actually maybe won't. Let me just it probably won't work actually. No, it actually won't. Alright, so this one right now, the project that you're seeing right now, is actually the one I've been working on. So what I am gonna do, before we go any further, actually I should save that actually, because I've just done a few little bits and bobs. I don't know what I've actually just opened here. I think I've just like literally reopened the same. Yeah, I've just reopened the same track. Sorry about that. So what I'm gonna do, is I'm actually gonna open the original project file to I'm Rushing. So the one that I originally did, which is I'm Rushing Edit 4, I believe it would be. I'm Rushing Edit 4 would be the latest one. However, I will have to get my it's gonna have some samples missing, I think, which I actually dragged back in on the new project, but we'll have a look. I'm not sure if it'll find it now because I located them files or not. It might still say they're missing. Yeah, so it's gonna say they're missing. So literally what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drag them files back in. It's easy enough to do. It's very easy to do actually. So I'm Rushing. I've got a folder called I'm Rushing Samples, because at the time a couple of people were gonna do some remixes of this tune themselves, but I don't think they ever did. But yeah, so I'm gonna put the samples back in, so you'll see. So they've just reappeared, and there's some other samples as well. Literally over here. So we've got this one. Yeah, so I've remixed 3 tracks into one track. So you've got 2 vocals from a completely different track, and you've got the melody from a different track over this like hardcore remix. So what I thought I'd do before we go any further with the sort of like stream is I thought I'd give you a little quick listen to the original version of the track, which was the one I did last year. It'd be sometime in April, May time. I would have actually done this version, and I thought I'll just give you a little bit of a listen. So have a listen, and then I'll show you on with the one that I've currently started to remix, if you like. So this was the original one that I did back in 2020. So as you can see, already I can notice things that are completely wrong with this track. And first off is the kicks are far too overpowering. You play the beginning bit, and the kicks are, because I've laid the kicks 3 times, and it actually, looking back now, it sounds too much, and it just sounds too loud. The bass has also been overpowered as well, by being layered twice. Now this is actually a bass loop, so a bass loop is already kind of well built, whereas if you're using bass one shots do actually need layering up a little bit more. But I think I've gone a little bit too bassy, and it's just a little bit simple really. There's nothing really going on. You've got your kicks, you've got a few little like gaps every now and again, and there's nothing that really, like, do you know what I mean, there's nothing that really like meets the eye and sets things apart. Especially here, like you can see, it's just, it's kicks, and that's all there really is to it. So it definitely needed a little bit of a rework. And then if we move further on, this was into the breakdown. This bit was actually really good, and I've actually kept this in the newer version. I've just done a few little tweaks, and we go into the melody, which this is the melody here. This is the piano melody, which if you are into your like dance music and your classic house and your trance and stuff, you'll know that melody. It's been remixed a fair few times as well, and it builds back up here, and then this is where it drops, and you've got all the kicks and the bass coming back in, and then you've got your vocals coming back in. Now, one thing that someone, I sent this to someone about a year ago, a good friend of mine, DJ Monster. I said, have a listen to this, and I said, tell me what you think. And he said that, I should add the option for someone to mix out of the track early. So if you don't know what that means is, so basically, you've got your breakdown. So this is the breakdown. It builds up, it drops, right? And then basically comes back in here with the vocal. Now, say you were mixing, you'd come up to this point, and then you'd press play on the next track, you'd get it in beat, and then here, you'd drop the next track in, so the bass is a double beating. Now, what I did in this track is I came straight back in with a vocal, which leaves it very, very hard to be able to, like, do sort of one of them shorter, quicker mixes, and it just makes the track a little bit shorter as well. So, like, as you can see here, we're like going back into the breakdown and stuff, and it doesn't all necessarily work too well. Like, it's not the worst thing. Like, you don't have to mix out early in every track, and not every track gives you that opportunity anyway to mix out of a track early. However, it just sometimes works better in a track, and it definitely suits this one. So I've added that in the newer version, and this is the second breakdown, which is a little tiny bit different, I think, to the first one, but not too much. But in the second edit, in the new version of this that I'm doing, I've done a lot of changes in the second breakdown, which you'll get to find out, and then it just basically drops and builds again. And then it just sort of like comes towards the end of the track, and there's nothing really too much else that goes on. So this was a good version. It did actually receive quite some nice feedback and stuff, but it's always nice to go back and update things. So that's what we're going to do right now. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the remake of the track that I've done. And I'm going to sort of explain some of the things that I've done to this track to make it better. So to start things off, I've actually got rid of the first 8 bars of kicks, and I've actually replaced it with a little breakbeat. Now, some hardcore tunes at 170 do start with breakbeats, and sometimes it just gives the track a little bit of a variety of something different, rather than just your normal kicks. Now, what I've also decided to do as well, which I didn't do in the original, is I actually, where I got the melody from, I've actually gone and taken a vocal from the original track where the melody's from, and I've also added that in as well. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this in. This was just something I was experimenting with. I'm not too sure if it'll end up staying. I've also updated and added some clap loops and some ride loops. We've got some like modern loops going on. which is just like some updated kicks and stuff. Now I have actually layered these 3 times because they're actually a little bit quieter, and they don't actually sound too distorting on this version of the track. So relatively everything sort of goes in the same pattern that the original track did, but all we've got different now is we've got these break beats, and we've got this and we've got these like modern kicks and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a little bit of a listen to the new beginning bit. So we're gonna go right up to the 17th bar, and just have a listen. So that is now how the newer version of the track is actually sounding, and it sounds a lot better already. It just sounds a bit more modern, just sounds a bit more sleek. It just has a little bit of something to it, so you can see. You might have gathered now by that vocal what melody the track is as well. Like I say, if you do know your dance tunes and stuff, then you'll know sort of roughly what that tune is. Now, as far as the bass goes, I've actually kept the same bass because I actually like the bass pattern in this track. It has a very good hardcore feel to it. It seems to fit the melody quite well. However, I did unlayer it. So on the original version, we had like the bass layered up like 2-3 times, and it just overpowered it. So with this one, I've actually gone ahead and I've actually just laid it down a bit, so it's not as overpowering as it was in the original version of the track, the one that I did about a year ago. And another thing I've also done, what you'll see is, I believe you'll see it. Do you know what? I think I've actually missed some of them out. But where these little gaps are here, I keep adding a little break beat. So there's like just these little break beats that come in. Here, this is the same. So these vocals come in, they stay the same. This all more or less stays the same, apart from it's got them newer kicks, it's got them new ride loops and clap loops and some more percussion stuff going on. Again, this little effect here was a little, it's a little like, you won't hear it, but it's a little like sort of spin back, sort of scratching effect, and this one is also here as well. That one there, another little effect there. I've kept that in from the original tune as well, which is again another pretty decent thing to keep in. And as you can see, you know, this breakdown here is more or less the same as the original breakdown. I liked the sound of the melody. I liked everything I was using. It sounded good. Everything that I was using sounded wicked, so I was decided to keep that in. Only thing I have added is this little like uplifter, so it just sort of like helps build in with the build up, and obviously I've changed the kicks and stuff. We've got this little break beat here again that comes back in. It drops, and then you've got the vocal that comes back in. Now on the other track there was a vocal that came straight in here, but actually this time I've left this actually clear and blank, and it's just blank on its own. Now we come down to the second breakdown where things get a little bit different, and this is where I'm kind of working at the moment, and this is where I'm kind of stuck, because one thing I do like about hardcore tracks, and especially some of the newer ones, a lot of artists go into like drum and bass sections, or they'll have these like dubstep sections, and they sound wicked, and if you get them to sound right, they can actually really have a really cool sort of like effect on your track. So I wanted to sort of put one in, and I've got this little D&B section, so there's a little D&B loop just down here, and I've just extended this little synth sort of string, if you like, just a little bit longer, and I've also changed a vocal here. Now, however, After that, I've kind of like extended on this, and I put this like little bass line in, this little drum and bass line. And I've been having a little bit of a play about, but I'm just not entirely certain with it yet. So I love like this part here, this bit, and all the way up here. This sounds absolutely wicked. However, it's just transitioning into this, and then more importantly, it's transitioning back out of this into this. Do you know what I mean? Into this, but I was thinking that I might scrap this and I might just go straight to this. So what I am going to do in the stream is I am going to be sort of having a little bit of a play about. But what I thought I'd do is let you have a listen to the track, just all the way up to this drum and bass section. And you can tell me what you think in the comments, or you can just, sit there and listen. But I thought, we'll have a little listen together. So let me know what you think. This is the 2021 edit of I'm Russian. So yeah, so that is like literally what I'd done. As far as the tune goes, that's like what I'd literally done. However, I am just gonna try something just here. I just want to try something ever so quickly. Just gonna try and experiment with something. But yeah, this is where I sort of came into the drum and bass section, and I'm not really too sure about it yet. So I'm going to experiment with a few little bits, but I do like it in some sense. I like there is parts of it that I do like. I just think I've got to transition into it a little bit better. But we'll have a little bit of an experiment and try. So I'm just gonna listen to this. It's just a little. I've just basically put the melody to Ecuador, so you'll know now that the melody I used was Ecuador, which comes from Sash. It's a classic trance song. If you don't know it, then you've been living under a rock, and like literally, even though like you get people that aren't really into dance music, like you've heard it at some point. It's been on 90s CDs, it's been on Ministry of Sound CDs for years. Like I say, it's been remixed a fair few times as well. I think there is some hardcore versions of it as well. I don't think, well, I know for certain I'm not the first person to do a hardcore flip on Ecuador, and I think I do actually have the original, the single on CD, which is quite a cool thing. But yeah, it's an absolute belter of a classic. But anyway, yeah, let's see what this sounds like. So I'm just gonna play from here. I actually really, really like that, and I've had a little brainstorm of an idea that I actually quite like the idea of. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna get rid of everything that goes as far as here, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight everything, literally from here, right? This is my sort of like. This is sort of like what I'm thinking. So what I need to do is like literally right. So I'm gonna highlight everything. Now all this section here, I've not actually done anything to this bit yet, apart from move it. So it's got all the old kicks still. Everything about it is still here. So that's why I've kind of like, do you know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do is drag this like literally along from here, right? So then after the D and B section, which comes in just about here, it's gonna like literally build back up. So we're just gonna take a quick. Because I just want to try something as well. So if we go from about, yeah, if we go from here, just like that. Right. Right, let's just have a quick listen. Right, I already know now. I think that bass is gonna like. I think that bass is gonna like be a no. So I think what I'm gonna actually do is take that bass out for now. But what I am gonna do is bring some of my like clap loops and stuff back. We can have some of them by all means coming back. So track 14 is where the claps are at. So where the actual like D&B bit comes in, we're gonna take a couple of these clap loops, and we're just gonna like put them along just here like that. There we go. So that's gonna go like that. I think I might have actually put it on the wrong track. No, I actually haven't. We're gonna get. We don't need the modern loops. The ride loops are actually on track 16. We should be all right with that. Modern loops on track 16. So, ride loops. So they're gonna go there like that. There we go. It just sounds so like uplifting. So let's have a quick listen again with these in. So that now is already just sounding so much more better. Just in general, it just literally sounds so amazing that you actually wouldn't believe. So what I've actually gonna do now is I've actually got to get rid of all of these kicks, and I've got to like put the new ones in and stuff like that. Because otherwise, as you can see, it's going to go back into how the original track was sounding. So we've got two possible things we could do. There is a quick way of doing it, and it would actually mean deleting everything, like from basically where I'm wiggling the mouse now, and copy and pasting it from this section right here, this would be one thing we could actually do, just like that, and then we could do some more copy and pasting. So let me have a look into doing that, and I'll be back with you. And you know what, people? I am actually quite happy with that revamp. Um, Actually sounds quite decent, to be fair. I like that. That is actually pretty wicked. That sounds pretty cool, actually. It's got some good little features to it. So why don't we do the honors of having a full playthrough of it? Wow. I am actually pretty impressed with that, to be fair. Do you know what? I actually really, really love that D&B section. That D&B section is wicked. There's just something about that D&B section. It's wicked. It sounds really. It's not like a jump up drum and bass. It's more like a. I forget what they call it. It's more like future D&B. It's got that real, almost like Liquid sort of style to it, but it's a little bit more heavier than Liquid. But it's got that real sort of like uplifting. It's like a euphoric D&B, and it just sounded wicked. And when you have the melody in there, you had the strings in there, you had the vocals, and then you had that, and oh mate, it sounded literally like the dog's bollocks. Like there's no other way I could describe that. But this tune, to what it was a year ago, which, bearing in mind, even back then a year ago, it was still a fairly decent tune. And to be fair, I thought I was pretty proud of myself, that I'd made the original one. But this one is something special. Is this? So what I'm actually need to do now? Well, one thing I do want to do to the track is I do actually want to work just purely on the build-ups a little bit from the melodies. That's one thing that I do want to do. And other than that, there isn't really too much more that I really want to change about things. I mean, I'll probably send it out to a few people and say, hey, listen, look here, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. All the rest of it. But I'm pretty chuffed with this one. I like it. I love everything about it. I like the beginning bit. The beginning bit makes it sound a little bit different. And it just has a really, really wicked feel to it. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to leave the stream here. This is going to be the end of the stream. I want to thank you all for watching. I am going to go and just export this onto a USB stick and just have a little test at mixing it. So what I'll do is I'll play a track and I'll mix into it, and then I'll mix out of it, etc. And then it will be ready for, a few little peaks changes. Then it will go through the mastering stage, and then it will be another one done. But thank you for watching, people. We've done a little revamp. We've done a little update to it. Sorry if I've not completely been looking at the camera, but I've had my eyes sort of on the FL, if you like. But I'm here. Hello. So thanks for watching. Peace out, people, and we'll see you again soon.